Hiya, welcome to Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl, and I'm glad to have you today. Today is Monday, the 8th of June, 2020, and this is Stitch With Me, episode 9. Like to say a big welcome back. Love you guys to all the returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. On Mondays, as long as technology and life cooperates, I do this Stitch With Me video, and then on Thursdays we record, and Fridays they release our regular full-length podcast and podcast/FlossTube that I do with my daughter, Danny. Yeah. So one thing I want to say before I start stitching is if you are a knitter, through tomorrow, Tuesday the 9th, why can I not remember dates? There's a calendar on the wall, that's what I'm looking at. The 9th of June, 2020, all of our patterns and ebooks in our Ravelry store, we are donating 70% of purchases to the NAACP. So if you are a knitter or know a knitter, go check that out. There's a link in the show notes and in the YouTube description for this video. Okay, so today I am continuing to work on a pattern from the Pusheen Cross Stitch Kit. I have finished patterns 1 and 2, so that is 1. I hope I didn't just show y'all the pattern. This is 2, and this is the one I am working on. And I have finished everything except for now filling in with this color. Everything that's left is fill-in. So, okay, let me get this started here. For Lady Robins, my t-shirt that I'm wearing, it says, "First I drink the coffee, then I create the things." That's what you can't see down here. Then I create the things. Lady Robins, in her, Robin is her real name, in her FlossTube, I don't know what episode it was. Anyway, she was talking about how it can be so distracting for her to be watching a FlossTube and not being able to see what is on the bottom half of the t-shirt that the person's wearing. So, I try to remember to show y'all. I'm stitching this on 14 count white Aida that came with the kit, with the 4 colors that it included with the kit. I'm stitching with 2 strands over 1. And yes, I go in between the 2 strands with my needle because it helps it lay flatter. Okay. Y'all, this has been a week. There's a lot going on in our world right now. It's not new stuff that's going on. It's that so many of us that were blind to it are seeing it. So there have been lots of really amazing resources shared on social media, and I just encourage you to keep learning. Keep learning. Don't expect others to teach you if that is not what they are willing and able to do. There's been so many books recommended to read, which I've read several of. And there are so many great people to follow on social media that are sharing, and because they are in the space to be able to do that. And so I just encourage you to keep learning. Keep learning. Be willing to make mistakes. Be willing to learn when somebody calls you out on your mistake. Because there's just so much that you may not know, that I may not know, that I may not be aware of, that we may not be aware of. So just be willing to learn and be respectful of people's space, and Um, what has on in our life this last week? Oh my gosh, the whole plumbing drama that I mentioned last week as for why my Stitch with Me was delayed last week. So if you didn't see that, um, so uh, Saturday a week ago, there was a plumbing leak in our building, not in our flat, but in our apartment building, that had to be had to be taken care of as an emergency. And then they came back on Monday to do stuff, and there was much jackhammering and the like. And we thought they were done. Oh no, they're still here today, over a week later. But the jackhammering has stopped, thank God, knock on wood. Knocking on this wood table. It turned out that they had to replace 50 feet of pipe under our building. So it definitely was a interesting week with the water being on and off all week long, and it was just crazy. So it impacted life, most definitely. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Dammy is in her last. I'm trying to use up the end of this piece of floss. Does anybody else do that? Like try to eke out as many tiny little stitches as you can. Dammy is in her last week of school for this spring quarter. She'll be done, I believe, on Wednesday. So I know that is oh, goodness gracious. That did not get woven under. Oh, okay, I see, because one of the strands is much shorter. I believe she's done on Wednesday. I don't think she has any true finals. I think she does have another exam, and I know she's got at least one paper due. But I know she is going to be relieved to be done, and have a little bit of a break before hopefully she gets to take a couple of summer classes at our local community college to get her science classes out of the way. I believe registration for that is this week sometime, maybe Friday. So I know she's going to be really relieved to be done and to have a little bit of a break, because I think the summer classes don't start until in July. So it will be nice for her to have a break, because it has definitely been a difficult quarter, just with having to adjust to doing all online classes and just all the stuff that the world has been facing this quarter. So trying to think if there's anything else going on that I can tell y'all about. I don't think so. So I am going to dive into the hashtag CC Stitch With Me prompts. And I pull most of the prompts from this book that I got at Barnes & Noble called 300 Writing Prompts. And I bought it thinking, oh, I'm going to journal these, and instead have ended up talking through some, not all, but some with y'all on these Stitch With Me's. And if you would like to respond to these and you have a podcast or FlossTube, feel free to do that and use the hashtag CC Stitch With Me prompts. Or if you want to comment in the YouTube comments, that's awesome too. Oh, I don't know if I said here, I think I said it on the main episode, but YouTube stopped notifying me of comments. So there were several comments that I had no idea were there. So I think I fixed the notifications, but I'm also trying to remember to be diligent to go in and check to see if there are comments. I apologize. I apologize to everybody whose comments I had missed, but I apologize here too if I did not respond in a timely manner. So I've stopped stitching for a second because the first question is I need to show you. So the question is, do you have a tattoo? What is it and why did you get it? If not, would you ever get one? What would the tattoo be and what would it symbolize to you? I have 4 tattoos and I'm going to try to show them here. So the first one that I got is the word grace. And to go along with that, I got them at different times, but they are symbolic to me together. In Hebrew, I have the word shalom, peace. So grace and peace is just a really important thing that kind of almost like a mantra or how I try to remember to treat myself and others. It doesn't always happen, but I try, and having those there as a reminder are powerful for me. The third one I got, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show, how well I'm going to be able to show this. Okay, I'm going to show it on this screen, even though I know it's smaller, but it's easier that way. So I have this dandelion with the flowering bits coming off, and then I have 5 birds on here. Trigger warning for quick mention of miscarriage. So the 5 birds are symbolic of our 3 babies that we lost to miscarriage. One of the birds is for Dammy, and the other bird is for a little girl that we, who lived with us, that we were in the process of adopting, and situation happened, and we were not able to adopt her. So those are what the 5 birds are symbolic of. And then the most recent one I got, this one is really hard to show. Okay. This is a quote from Gilmore Girls, which Gilmore Girls is like my all-time favorite TV show. And it combines my love of Gilmore Girls with my love of knitting. So it says, "It doesn't matter what I'm knitting. I'm just knitting to," well, right now, if you can read it, it says purl. But if you read it right side up, it says knit. So that was a fun way that I could get in my love of Gilmore Girls with my love of knitting. Okay, what am I doing here? Okay, there we go. So those are the 4 tattoos I have. I have thought about getting more. I don't know exactly what or where, but yeah. So it took me a long time to get these tattoos. I think I was in my early 30s when I got my first one. So, and I got Grace and Peace. I got while we were living in Texas in grad school, and then my dandelion with the birds and my knitting one I got while we were living in Scotland. So. Those are my 4 tattoos. I wanted the reason it took me, I had been wanting to have a tattoo for quite a while, but the reason it took me so long is because I really, really, really wanted to make sure that whatever I was having put on my body was something that truly meant something to me, and that it was something that I would be okay having 30, 40, 50 years from now. So I really, really thought on what I got for a long time before I started getting the tattoos. Everybody asks, or people ask if they hurt. The worst part of all the tattoos was the stuff that was right in the middle of the arm because the skin is thinner there. So that is what hurt the most, was the stuff that was in that area. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to see what I'm doing here. I can't have the light above me here on because it reflects in this video right here and makes it look weird. So I have the kitchen light on, but it makes it hard to, life. Okay. Next prompt. It says write about. I'm going to talk about something that I frequently forget. Do y'all have hours to listen to me? Because I forget things all the time. I used to be a very good rememberer. Is that a word, a rememberer? A person who remembers things? I used to remember things very, very easily. But when I developed fibromyalgia, one of the symptoms or parts that I have is brain fog. We also call it fibro fog. And my brain can just be really mushy. And so I forget things like, oh gosh, the most embarrassing to me personally was the day I forgot my best friend's name. Yes. It was there. It was right there, and it just... So that is why I am so much one that uses lists, and I email myself stuff all the time that I need to remember, like especially if I'm like laying in bed or whatever and something pops up. I'll like email it to myself. I was using a bullet journal, and I've now kind of transitioned into the Happy Planner, even though I still do use some of the bullet journal methods in my Happy Planner. I have a Happy Planner that I write so many things in, so many things in. We have Dammy and the Dr. Hubs and I have shared access to each other's Google Calendars, as well as like we have a family Google Calendar. Dammy and I have a GGKCS and Java Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch, and Java Pearl Designs, which is our knitting design business. Google Calendar. I have a work. I work very, very part time for a fiber processing mill, doing their admin stuff, and so I have a Google Calendar for that. So, and that is like that is on my computer and on my phone, and I use it to lay out my Happy Planner, and so I have lists everywhere. I adore sticky notes. I write myself notes all the time because I forget things. Now, random things do I remember? One of my childhood phone numbers from, how many years ago would that be? Well over 30 years ago. I still know that phone number, and we had that phone number for about 5 years. Random. So that is, I frequently forget everything, which, I mean, like, I know y'all, if you've been a viewer for very long at all, you know that Dammy constantly gives me words and names and things, because I do forget them. I don't know how many years ago this has been, but probably fairly early in our podcasting, which we're recording our 400th episode this week. And in August, it will have been 8 years since we started podcasting. I just stabbed myself. Ouch. So early on in it, somebody actually sent me a message and was like, why is Dammy always filling words in for you? Why is she being so disrespectful? She needs to not, you're her mother. She needs to not be rude to you like that. And I was like, oh, no. That is what life is like on a daily basis. It's the fibromyalgia. I forget words. I forget things. She is doing exactly what she does in everyday life, and I would be lost without her. So I was like, she's actually being a very big help to me. She's not being rude or disrespectful at all. So yeah. It is hard to see sometimes on this. When I stitch, and I tell you all this, I think, every single week. When I stitch, when I'm not doing Stitch With Me, I stitch with it up here. Because life, but eyesight. But for the camera, I need to hold it down here. So, that is what I forget. I forget everything. I would be completely... I used to jokingly call my bullet journal my brain because it had like everything in it because I would forget things. I also utilize the Notes app on my phone for things and type stuff in because I forget things. So there's that one. Okay. And then this last one that I'll do is describe one odd item that you have in your purse or wallet right now. I don't carry a traditional purse. I carry a backpack, but I have lots of random things in my backpack. I guess one of them is, hold on, let me see if I can grab it. Where's it at? Aha! I found it. I bought this, hold it down here. It's Belle. I adore Belle. She's my favorite princess. It's this cup sleeve that I put on my Starbucks drinks to keep them from sweating because I tend to drink more of the cold drinks. I drink cold brew most of the time. Then I do warm drinks, although I could use that for warm drinks too. And versus using the ones that you just, well, I guess they're recyclable, but the ones that you throw away, I bought this and use this, and so it's in my backpack. Although it's been a long time since I've used it, since we're been stay at home. What other random things do I have in my bag? I should have looked more. I always carry a cell phone charger with me. Medication. I always carry medication with me. Trying to think what is unusual. I carry a collapsible folding fan thing that my bestie got me when they were visiting Spain, and I use that a lot. And so that's a random item in my bag. I always have either knitting or cross stitch or both in my bag because you just never know when you're going to have a free minute and you could be using that time to craft versus just sitting there. So I always when I'm leaving the house, I always throw knitting or cross stitch or both into my bag so that I have something with me to work on. I think probably everything else in my bag is pretty normal. Wallet, keys, lip balm, etc. So, I always carry, I have a tote bag that I keep folded up in the bottom of my bag so that if I'm shopping, I can pull it out and use it, and try to avoid using store bags. It's been so long that since I've been outside to be able to take my bag somewhere, that I kind of forgot what's in there. Yeah, so we'll go with that. So that's more than one random item that is in my that I carry with me in my bag. Well, I think we will stop there. I got in quite a few stitches on that. So it's just going to be, I only work on this during Stitch With Me, so there won't be any progress more on it this week. It'll just sit like this, and then I will continue filling in when we are together again next week. I will have to count these stitches and put them in for, I participate in in quite a few different challenges for the Simi Sane Stitchers group on Facebook. So, well, I think I will stop there. I hope that y'all have a great week ahead. Remember to stay safe and healthy, and to keep your mind and heart open to learning things, and to bearing witness to others' experiences, and do what you can to help make some lasting changes in our world. So you can find us online at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Dammy usually says this, and so I always forget. And we will be back with you on Friday with our 400th episode, and we will be doing some great giveaways. And so I'm really excited about that. So you should definitely tune in and celebrate with us 400 times of recording together. So until then, happy crafting. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay open, stay strong. And we'll see you on Friday.